If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today we are going to be starting a very small project where we build it up, we add some functionality to it, we get everything set up, and then we go ahead and deploy it. So today is the first part of that where we just really set everything up. A lot of you ask me about using templates and how do you use them in a project like we're doing and set it up the way we're doing it. So what I did was I went and looked for some free Tailwind templates that we could take a look at and use. And I found this one by Creative Tim, and I also believe that they have bootstrap versions of these. If we take a look down, you see they have all kinds of templates that you can use. They just have some different designs. They all do something different. You have dashboards, you have all sorts of different things. And the one that I chose was this Tailwind I think it's supposed to be starter kit, but that's fine. This is the one that I picked out. So if you click this, it'll take you to this page right here. And this just basically goes into what it's going to look like when we get it up and running. And some things are almost identical to this and some things are a little bit different, but we'll get to that when we start building it out. This is what the login page looks like. This is what the profile page looks like. I didn't set this one up, but you're free to do that. Once I show you how to do the rest of them, you'll be able to do that one on your own. And this is the landing page. There's also a dashboard page, but you get the idea. So to get this template, what you would want to do is you would go to the download button right here. And that download button will take you to this page where you can just download it from GitHub. You go ahead and click that. It'll start the download, and then you can go ahead and put it wherever you want to put it. I put mine on my desktop. So when you install it, you open it up. This is pretty much what you're going to get. So if you just open up any page, this one has some images that we can use, and then we have a layout for, let's say, the landing page. They'll have them in Angular, HTML, Next, React, and Vue.js. I just use the HTML one because that's pretty generic, and you can change it however you want. If you wanted to have Vue or Angular, React, or whatever you want to have, I find it's better to just take the HTML first and then add the other functionality after. So if you take a look here, this is basically my layout. I've stripped out all functionality to it, but it does have some fun, awesome icons in here and just some other little functionality. This is just a template right now. There's nothing really clickable to it yet, but there's also a section where you can send a message to the, whoever the background is. So if, let's say, someone wanted to send me a message, then they could just use this form right here and send me a message. And then some other links down here as well. We go back up. We have the dashboard page, which we can look at now. And as you can see, there are some links over here. We have a little chart.js, some orders. We have some other information down here, and we'll also be able to bring all that stuff in. We also have a register page. So we've got the background for that. We've cleaned everything up. And then we also have a link to already registered, as well as the login page where we have Remember Me functionality. And then we have other things that we can work on as well. The other thing is how we're setting up the Git repo. We're first going to start with the template, which is right in here. Okay. And as you can see, it's Coder's Portfolio Demo. So this is going to be all of the pages that you just saw. I have edited them all out and I've stripped out whatever functionality we had, and you just have basically what I saw. So I've given you all of that so that you have somewhere to start. And I've also given you two images. One is the background for the register page and one is the avatar for when the user logs in. So you can use those if you want, but they'll be right here. If you open one up, you see there's a picture right there. And just go ahead and use that. If you want to have everything exactly the way I have it, then those are the external images that I'm using. Now, if we were to go back, I'm also going to be putting the code into this folder here. It'll be accessible here. Once we're done with the project, I'll go ahead, push it, and it'll all be available to you. By the way, there are links in the description, so you guys will be able to find everything as easily as possible. Okay, so here we have a terminal open, and I'm going to go ahead and create the project. I have Laravel installed globally, so I'm going to do Laravel new, and I'm going to call it Coder's Portfolio. And then I'm also going to add the jet flag on that. What it's going to do, it's going to install everything that we need to get this project up and ready to go. Go ahead and press enter, and it'll ask you which Jetstream stack do you prefer. This time we're going to be doing Livewire instead of Inertia. So for those of you who've watched me before, I haven't really done much of Livewire yet, so I figured this would be a good opportunity. And that's what we're going to be using for this project. Will your application use Teams? We're going to say no because we are not.
A few moments later.
It looks like it finished. Just so you're aware, we are using Veep for this project and it's running. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that. And then we're going to go ahead and head into this folder. And now we can go ahead and open up our text editor. So I'm going to be using code, and I also want to exit out of this terminal. Fantastic. So now we have, just as I showed you, that folder where we are in the Coders Portfolio Demo project. Here's the template that I showed you from the repo. And now here's our project right here, and we can start working in here. So I want to go ahead to the .env and start working on our credentials. So the project, I'm going to have it be called Coders Portfolio. We have our database. Mine is already set up, but it's called Coders Portfolio, and the username root, password is blank. And we'll work on some other stuff in here later. So let's go ahead and start working on our migration. We're going to open up a new terminal. And then we want to make sure that we CD into this Coders Portfolio right here. And now we can run our migrations. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our servers so that we can see it run. So for PHP, it's going to be artisan serve. And over here, we are going to CD into that same folder. And then we're going to run npm run dev. Fantastic. Let's go ahead to the browser and see what we have. So we have our project up and running. Fantastic. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to work on the landing page, but I do want to make it a Livewire component. So I'm going to go ahead, open up a new terminal. First thing we're going to do is we're going to CD into the same folder, and then we're going to do PHP artisan, make Livewire, and we'll call it landing page. Okay, so would you like to show some love? I've already done that, so we should have it up and running. Let's go and check on that. In our app, HTTP Livewire, we have the component right here, and let's go and look at the page. Resources, views, Livewire, landing page. So I'm going to go ahead for now and comment this out, and then I am going to open up that component, and I want to add the layout. And the layout that we're going to use is guest. So to get this to work, we have to go to our web routes. Okay, and I'm going to comment this out for now. And I'm going to do route, get. We're going to add that landing component, class, and I'm going to go ahead and call it home. When we refer to it, that's what it'll be. And then let's go ahead and import this. And we actually need a comma here, and that should clear up that error, and it's already imported. Fantastic. Let's go and make sure that everything is coming through okay. We're probably going to get some errors, but we'll deal with it. Okay, so view guest not found, and that's because in the landing page, we need to do layouts.guest. Okay, let's try it again. Cool, so we are now seeing that component. The best athlete wants his opponent at his best. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and close out this component. We can close this out, and we'll leave this open for now. We can close this out. So the first thing that we need to do is work on the layout. So because we are using Livewire for this guest layout, we need to also add our styles for this. Let me make a space for that. And under here, we need to add our Livewire styles. And then right at the end of this body tag, we need to also add the scripts. So for this slot, we are going to go ahead and grab our landing page that we have from the other folder. And we don't need any of that stuff, so I'm just going to grab all of this, copy. And then in the landing page, I'm going to go ahead and paste all of that in. A lot of lines. We'll sort that out in a bit, but I just want to get up top to straighten this out a bit. Okay, let's go see what it looks like. Oh, it already I forget we're using Vite and it auto refreshes. Okay, so one of the first things that we need are our font awesome icons. And we don't actually have to install it. We can just use the CDN. And for that, I believe I put it up here already, font awesome icons. So we'll go ahead and copy that. And we'll just add it right above the Livewire styles. Okay, let's give that a try. Okay, now we have our icons. Fantastic. Okay, go all the way down. Yes, yes, yes. We see them all fantastic. So something that I want to do is, because these templates have a lot of lines of code, I want to start extracting some of them out into smaller pieces. This navigation right here, we're using it on a few different pages. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out first. If we head over to the landing page and open that up, this is where that navigation is coming through. And from here, we can actually just cut it out. And then I'm going to create a folder called partials. Well, actually, it's going to be a folder called partials, yes, but we're also going to add the nav. We'll call it the guest nav.blade.php. And then we can go ahead and paste this in here. Clean that up a little bit for us. And now we can actually go ahead and just add this to the guest layout. Partials guest nav. So let's go and make sure we didn't break anything first. Okay, it's already auto refresh, but we'll refresh it just in case. I'll have to remember that it does that, but we have our navigation. Fantastic. So one thing that I do want to show you, if we shrink this down a little bit, you see we have a menu button here and all of our text up there disappeared. Now the template itself had JavaScript. So what I want to do is, instead of using the JavaScript, I just want to change it to a more Livewire way of doing it. So the Livewire installation also has Alpine.js attached to it. So that's going to make this really easy for us. If we head back to the guest nav blade, right up top in the opening nav tag that we have, we can do something called X data. And what that's going to do is anything that we need to use sort of an Alpine.js type thing to it in this whole nav template, whatever is in here, we can use whatever we put in here to work for everything else in the partial. So for here, we're just going to say open is false, which means that right down here, this is where we're displaying that nav list with the dashboard, the profile, all of this stuff in here. We can do class, we'll bind it, and then we'll say block if open and hidden if not open. So now to trigger this, we're going to need some sort of a button, which is that menu bars button that we have here. So on this button, we can just do @click equals open equals not open. And what that'll do is every time you click it, if you click it, it'll open the rest of the menu. And if you click it back, it'll hide the rest of the menu. That's all that's doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and shrink this down and go ahead and click it. Okay, now we have our menu. Fantastic. And it's a little lopsided, but we'll deal with all the rest of that later. And we have to hide some of these as well. Okay, so to do this as easily as possible, we're going to deal with this from the top to the bottom. So everything else is good here, but the first thing that I want to do is I want to make this portfolio link actually be a link. So we're going to do route, and we already have it named home, so that's fine right there. Okay, and if we head down to our unordered list here, I'm just going to shrink some of these down. And then here we're going to do auth, because this is Laravel, so we need to show certain buttons if a user is logged in or not. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this over a bit. And if we open these up, we'll see dashboard. So that should be an auth user profile. That should also be an auth user, and logout should also be an auth user. Okay, so we'll do @else here. And then at the bottom here, we'll do end auth. Okay, so if we take a look at the sections, the authenticated user is from here to here, and these are the links that they're seeing. And if it's not an authenticated user, then it should just be seeing the register and the login buttons. And that's pretty much it. So let's deal with the authenticated user, and we need to add for the href, we can do, let me move this over a bit. and get rid of this altogether and do route dashboard, which we already have. So we already set up authentication when we whipped up a project. So all of our register, login, all of those routes already work right out of the box. So the next one that we have here is the profile. And again, this is one that's been provided by our installation. So we can just do route profile show and leave it at that. And then the form method post, the action is route logout. And we can open this up a bit so we can see it better. And we also need to add at CSRF, and then that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink this since we're done with that part. And let's work on this else section here. Now, there's some things that we can use from Laravel as well, where we can do if and end if. We'll say if route has register, then we can go ahead and bring these two sections up. And this will be the register, the login. And then we need to add the hrefs to here. So again, we have route register. And for this one, it'll be route login. And if you're unfamiliar with the routes, okay, let's open this up. You go ahead and type in PHP artisan route list. It'll give you a list of all the available routes, okay? And these are the authentication ones that we have. So we have register, login, logout, and we also have user confirmed password, two-factor challenge, password profile, and I've gone over these with some of the other projects that we've used, but this is where you would find where those routes are. And one thing that I did forget to do for this logout button here, we need to put X data on here as well. Let's go ahead to the browser and see if all of this is working. Go ahead, and it looks like we were getting some errors, but let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, so looks like it has sorted itself out. So we are unauthenticated, so we should be able to shrink that, click it. Now we only see those two buttons. Okay, great. Well, we can also try to register. Okay, this is default. We'll fix this in a bit, but I'm going to go ahead, fill it in, register. Okay. This is our default dashboard, which we're not going to worry about just yet, but we can go ahead and log out and then continue on. Now, the other thing that we can also extract is we go all the way down. We have a footer down here, and this footer is different for the other pages that we have, but it is a lot of code, so I do want to extract this as well. If we go back to the guest, no, if we go to the, I can close out the guest nav. If we go to the landing page, okay, we can go ahead down and check out this footer. I'm going to start shrinking these so we can see it. Okay, there it is. And it's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And then I'm going to create a new partial, and I'm going to call it landing footer.blade.php. And then we'll go ahead and paste that footer in here. 100 lines. It's a lot. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down, move it over. Okay, so now for the landing page where we just took that out, we can include partials, landing, footer. Let me make sure I'm not getting any errors, and that should be good. Let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, and that looks good. Fantastic. Okay, so let's head over to this landing footer and see if there's anything we need to fix in here. I think we have some links that we need to work on. Okay, let's head down, and I definitely know that we have some terms and conditions here. Now, if you've been following me before, we haven't actually used this terms and conditions thing yet, but it is super, super simple. So if we go over to our config folder and head down to Jetstream and go down all the way to the bottom, you see there's a list of features that we can activate here. One of them is the terms and privacy policy. So I'm going to go ahead and uncomment that out, close this. And then if you take a look, we go to Actions, Fortify, and we'll go to the Create New action here. When this is activated, there's a Has Terms and Policy feature. basically, when you go ahead to register, you have to agree to these terms and conditions, which means you have to read them first. You know, like with any website that you have, you make sure you read everything from top to bottom. You go ahead, accept it, then you can register for whatever the site is or use the site or whatever the terms and policies are. And the reason I wanted to use this is because with each of the projects we have, we never actually have used the terms and policy features on it. So I wanted to show you guys how to use it and how easy it is, because when you guys are doing sites like these, you have to have some sort of terms and policies on your pages. And I am in a future project going to show you how to implement that correctly within your apps. But for now, this is a demo and they have a very basic terms and privacy policy feature. So if you go down and take a look down at the different views that we have here, you see there's a policy blade and a terms blade, and that's already taken care of for us. We can style it. We can do whatever we want. We're not doing it for the demo, but that's where you would find those pages. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, close this, head back to this, and now we can just use the routes to those. So for the first one, it's going to be route, terms, show, and then for the policy, it'll be route, policy, show. And I've also added a hashtag contact in here so that if we're at the bottom of the page and we want to get directly to this contact page, then we can just click contact us and it'll bring us to that part of the page. That's just basically HTML and CSS. Okay, now the other thing that I want to do is down here where we are hard coding the year, I want to use PHP since we're using Laravel, might as well. And it'll be PHP echo date. And we just need a capital Y, semicolon, and then we'll go ahead and close that off. What this is going to do is it's just going to echo the current year that we are in. So no matter when you look at this page, that current year will always be here. Okay, go ahead, refresh this, go down. Okay, so nothing is broken and we have our date here, and let's go check out our terms and conditions. And this is the default page that it, you know, this is what it looks like. And then if you go to the privacy policy, then that's what that looks like. Fantastic. So we can go ahead and close this. Close that. Okay, and we are going to be working on this contact section a bit later, but I just want to get all of our pages fleshed out first. So let's go ahead and head up top and we'll start with the register page. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Okay, so now we can close out the pages that we have open here. And we're going to be using that guest blade for the register as well. So let's head all the way down to our template and open this one up. And then I'm just going to shrink all of this and then copy out the relevant parts. And then in our register page, it's in the auth register. Okay, and there's a lot of stuff already here, and we're going to be using some of the same functionality, but it's going to look entirely different. So we're going to keep that layout, and we're going to just paste all of this in. Okay, great. Everything should be lined up. Fantastic. So the first thing that I want to do is take a look at this and make sure it looks good. Okay, it's done, but we do need that background. So what I'm going to do is grab that background that we have in here, and I'm going to bring it into our storage. Okay, so we're going to create another folder. We're going to call it assets. And then another folder where we're going to call image. Okay, let's bring that image up. I'm just going to copy it from here. And paste it in here. And so now we have that transparent background. Fantastic. So let's see, where is it being displayed? Down here. Okay, so this should be storage, and that should be good. Let's check it out. It is not displaying. And the reason for that is that I forget with this new Vite installation, for some reason, it does not link our storage files to our public files like it used to. I'm going to go ahead, open this up, and then we'll just go ahead and create that link. Okay, so now we have the link and our assets are in there and it should be good to go. For some reason, this is duplicate. We'll take a look at that as well, but we do have our background. Okay, let's head up and work our way down. So we'll do route home. Let's make sure that that's good. No, it's not. And I realize why. We are using the guest layout, and the guest layout already has the navigation in it. So we do need to remove that from here because it's the same navigation. And that should hopefully clear that up. Let's take a look. Okay, so now we don't have any double vision here. And actually, if we shrink this down, we can already get rid of this as well because that's also in that. It's also in the logout file. So what I want to do is I want to leverage some of Jetstream's components. So we're going to do X jet validation errors. And we're just going to give it a class of margin bottom 4. And this way, all of the errors that we get from the form will just be displayed right up top. So for the form, our method is going to equal post. And the action will equal the route register. We'll add our CSRF token here. And that should be good for now. And since we're leveraging Fortify with Sanctum and Jetstream and all that stuff, we don't really need to use a wire for this. So what we're going to do here is just use some very basic Laravel here. And we're going to put old name. This way, if they try to submit, it doesn't work, then that will still hold those values. So that's fine. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to add it to email here. And for this, I'm just going to put email. And we can also change these values as well. And these are for translations. So it'll just say name here, and then I'll copy that. And for here, I'll do the same for email. And let's continue on for password. We'll do this first, and this will just say password. Okay, let's move that over first. And then we'll do the same of this. We'll add for the confirm password. And we're not adding an old value to password mainly because you don't want to hold that information in. So the name, the email, other information like that, but something as sensitive as a password, you want people to retype it. Okay, and that should be good. Let's head down. Okay, so here's where I commented out. We'll go ahead and get rid of these. And I'm pretty sure I left everything the same here. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. And that should be good. For these here, instead of login here, I'm going to do login. And we can actually do the same thing that we did for these translations. Do the same here. And then I'll copy it and do the same for the register button. Okay, and then we'll bring this up. And for these, we'll just leave these for now. And let's head down to the footer. And I want to change this route to our home. And then I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to add it down here as well. We can also do our PHP thing with this date here. Okay, fantastic. Let's go down a bit. And these are all good. I don't have any other links for these, so that's fine. Go ahead, and looks like we got an error somewhere. Somewhere around the form. Let's see. Form. I forgot to close this off. And let's try it again. Okay, looks good. So as you can see, we have our terms of service here, our privacy policy here, and then we have our other buttons. So I'm going to go ahead, fill this in, and then I'm going to uncomment this so that we can see what happens. Okay, the terms must be accepted. So we also have validation, which already came with our default installation. Fantastic. The other thing that I want to do is I want to change this to I want to make it spin. To do that, all we need to do is go down to where that button is, register, and for this icon that we have in here, we can just do animate spin, and that's Tailwind class, so that should work. Okay, so see, we have it spinning. So now we want to use some Livewire Alpine.js functionality to make the spin only when we click the button. Okay, so we already have that set up. All we have to do is for the icon, we'll do wire loading. Livewire has different states that you can use, and wire loading is one of them. That's going to display when the form is loading, and then here we're going to do wire loading remove. So basically when it's not loading, then it's not going to be there. Go ahead, refresh, and you can see now it's already gone, and I keep forgetting that I do not have to refresh, but if I click that, we already have front-end validation for that. So let's go ahead, do this, click that. Oh, where'd my button go? Actually, I just realized since we're doing this with Jetstream, this isn't going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this icon, and then we'll remove this, and that's fine. We'll leave it as the default settings. Fantastic. That's fine. Let's just go ahead and make sure this is all good, and then we'll try to register and see how it goes. Go ahead, fill it in, and register. Fantastic. So the next thing that we can do is we can go ahead and take this footer, because we're going to be using this in two places. So we can go ahead, X this out, and I'm going to do include partials, and then we'll just call it auth footer. So let's go ahead and create that. And we'll go ahead and paste it in here. Clean this up a bit. That's it for that. Let's head over to the login page and do the same thing over here. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to grab the template and the login HTML. And then we're going to come up here and then grab that from here. Go ahead and get rid of all of this and start working on this. So here is going to be pretty much the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the navigation. And we're also going to get rid of that div. So this here and this here. Okay, slide this over. Okay, and then we need to change the image file. Okay, and then above the form, we're going to do the XJet validation errors with the class of MB4, and let's also make sure to close this out. And then under this, I'm also going to put this session status thing here. Okay, for the form, the method will be post, and then the action will equal route login. We also need to add the CSRF token, and that should be good for right there. And then I'm going to go to the register page and just grab some of these, because it's the same thing here. And then we'll also do the value old email. Okay, let's do the same for the password. And that's good. Let's do the text for the remember me. Everything else is the same. Let's go down to the login button. And we can get rid of that. And then we can head down a little bit. And then in this div, we'll do if route has password request. And then I'm going to grab this and bring it up. The link will go to route password request. And then we'll do the same thing for the translation. And then we can add the link for register. And then we can grab the same thing. Fantastic. So now we can also get rid of the footer because we already have that. So we're going to include partials auth footer. Okay, let's take a look. Looks good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and register a user. Fill it in. I'm going to copy the email. Register. Log out. Go back to the login page. Go ahead and paste in that email and go ahead and log in. Fantastic. We are officially logged in. So let's go ahead and work on our dashboard now. Okay, so we can close this stuff out here. And I'm going to just close all of these. And then we'll open up our dashboard. Now, as you can see here, the dashboard is using the app layout. Let's go and grab our dashboard first. I'll just go ahead and grab this stuff. And then that's what we'll put in the dashboard. So we can get rid of all of this. Paste that in. Okay, good to go. Let's see if we are getting at least something here. So a few things we do need to fix. And the first thing we want to do is bring in our font awesome icons. So we can grab those from the guest layout. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. Okay, and then we can just put it right over here. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, we have our icons. Fantastic. Now, something we can do is to start bringing in this chart.js stuff, and we already have something set up for that. So first of all, we're going to go down to the app.blade.php, and I'm going to paste in the chart.js CDN for it. And then we're going to head down to our templates, and I'm going to copy this scripts.js file because it has everything that we need for that. So we're going to copy this one. We're going to go up to our JS, and we're going to paste it in here. And now we need to bring this in somewhere. So we're going to bring it into the app.js. And right up here, we're just going to import scripts. Okay, let's give that a try. Okay, so we have our chart.js. Fantastic. Make sure we don't have any errors in the background. And let's see what this is. Oh, that's for our image. So we brought in the background, but we didn't bring in that other one. So I'll grab it from here. Paste it in, and then in our, let's see, where is that? That's in the dashboard. Right here. We'll add our storage. Okay, and let me go ahead and close these. Let's go see what we have. And let me make sure I don't have it anywhere else. Of course I do. See if anywhere else. Should be good. We have our avatar. Okay, and we have our charts. We have everything else in here. Fantastic. Close this out. And actually, we do need some functionality in here because when I click this, there should be some drop downs. And I want to get rid of this because that's coming in from our jet stream. So let's start here in our app.blade, and that means that we can go ahead and take care of this, get rid of it. And we don't actually need this main in here. And we also don't need this navigation menu. And we technically do not need this either. So we'll get rid of that. Slide this over. And we're not using any of the modals, so I'm going to get rid of that as well. And that seems to have cleared everything up. Okay, so that little navigation menu is gone, and we still need to work on this. So again, we have a drop-down menu. We have a sidebar that also shrinks as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this from top to bottom just so that we can make it as quick as possible. In this root div right here, I'm going to do xData equals. And then there are a few that I'm going to put in here. One is going to be open sidebar. And we're going to set that to false. We're also going to have one called open user responsive dropdown. And I'll also set that to false. Then we're going to do open user dropdown, and we're also going to set that to false. Like I said, we're going to do this from the top to the bottom and work our way down. So the first thing that we have here is a route that we need to add. And then we can head down. This is the search right here, but we're not going to be messing around with the search, so I'm just going to shrink that. And then on this UL class, I'm going to add a click function. And this will be one of the ones that we put up top. So it'll be open user dropdown equals not open user dropdown. Okay, we can go ahead and head down. And then right in this div right here, we are going to bind some classes so that it'll be block when open user dropdown is open. And then when it's not, then it'll be hidden. We're just binding those classes to that. Okay, that's pretty much it for that. Okay, and now if we head all the way down, I think this is all good. We'll know when we start chopping it up. So in the footer down here, again, we can do our PHP. And for this route, we can add home. And I broke something. And it's actually this, I forgot. Needs to be a question mark. Okay, fantastic. If we go down to home, we can also add the route here. Okay, pretty good. So as we start working on this, we'll figure out the rest. So what I want to do is I want to first grab this footer. And what will we call it? We'll just call it main footer. Okay, go ahead, paste that in. Okay, so that should be the same. Let's make sure we didn't break anything with that so far. Okay, looks good. There's our footer. Let me close this.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I had to remove some things because I accidentally deleted a section. So the footer taken out, everything is fine there. So we just need to go through here and make sure that we have everything all set. So this is a button, and we need to do at click. This is the sidebar equals open sidebar equals not open sidebar. Tailwind starter kit, that's all fine. And where we have this bell, we need to have another click because this is the notification bell. So this is going to be open notification equals not open notification. And then on this div right here, we are going to add some conditional classes that we're going to bind in the event that the notification is open or if it's not. So if it's not, we're going to hide it. Okay, and then we can now drop that. So here we have storage. And then for this A tag, we're also going to do at click equals open user responsive dropdown equals not, well, I guess it's kind of the same thing, but we'll just leave it like that for now. That's fine. And now for this div right here, we are also going to paste in another conditional class where it's open user responsive, whether or not it's open or closed. And that should be good. Let's continue on. If we head down to this div right here, where it's the example collapse sidebar, basically this is going to be another class where we can, when the sidebar is open or not, we're just going to change some of the classes on it. And then we're also going to do it down here where it's the FA times, that's the X. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that here, and that should be good. And if we continue on, this is a search dashboard, and we can go ahead and add the routes to this. And the welcome page will also be home. And the profile page, that's the one I said at the beginning that I didn't actually use for this, but you can if you want. For the edit page, the edit profile, we're going to do route profile show, and that's already built into Laravel, so we don't have to worry about that. For this one, we can go ahead and do the login route. And then the same for the register page. The logout button, we need to do form method is post action equals route logout. And here we're going to put X data as well. We need the CSRF. And I'm getting this from the Laravel dashboard. It's the same thing. And we also have a icon for that. Okay, and this is the other dashboard. Open drop down. Okay, we're doing good here. And this is the chart and everything in there, so we should be good. Let's see if we're still getting an error. And no, looks like everything is good. So we have our footer, we have our sidebar, our chart's still good. And now if we click this, you see we have a drop down here. And if we shrink the page, you can make that look better if you want. I just couldn't. We can click that back to close it. And now we have this down here where we get this sidebar menu. We can close that out. I might have to figure out why that is, but I'll do that in a bit. We'll go ahead and refresh that for now. Get that. Okay, so we're missing some images and something for our notification. So why don't we go ahead and move that sidebar out so we can get a better look at it. Okay, so let's head up. And this is where the sidebar is here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. And then we're going to include partials. I'm just going to call it sidebar. Okay, we'll go ahead and paste that in. First, let's make sure that we can still see that before we double check the code. So it is still there. Fantastic. Open notification. I don't think that let's take a look here. Open, and I surely did not. So we'll go ahead and add that here. Open notification equals false. Let's give that a try and make sure that that sidebar is working. And I need to add another image, but I'll do that in a bit. Okay, so if we shrink that, drop that. Nope, still not working. Okay, so the first thing I need to do in here to get that image is assets. Let's make sure that we're getting that first. Okay, fantastic. We actually have our image back. Now let's go find out what's going on with that X. And if we head down, that looks fine. That looks fine. This FA times, oh, this one should be at click equals, and then open sidebar equals not open sidebar. Okay, let's give that a try. Ah, okay, now it's working. Fantastic. Okay, and let's just take a quick look. I think all of our links are good. Dashboard, home, profile, show. Okay, great. So let's head back to the dashboard. And then I want to take this nav bar as well. And then we'll put it in, we'll call it partials. We'll do main nav. Okay, let's go ahead and create one. Go ahead and paste that in. Okay, and that should still work because we haven't really changed anything except for extracting it. Okay, let's go ahead, refresh. Okay, so I'll click that. And then notification also is right down here, and then we can click that to close it. Fantastic. So we got all of our navigation, we've got our dashboard, everything is all set to go. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead back to the welcome page, and then what I want to do is I want to set up this contact section right here. So what we're going to do for this is we are going to turn this into a Livewire component. We come back and open up our terminal. I'm going to call this PHP Artisan make Livewire, and we'll call it contact form. So that created the class and the view. Let's start with the class. App, HTTP, Livewire, contact form. And I can drop this. We already pretty much have it rendering out. Let's close out some of these. And I want to open up not the partials, Livewire, the landing page Livewire component that we have here. And this is, let's see, I think it's in here. Nope, it's at the last one. Send message, and this is where it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down. And then I'm going to take it from here, cut that out of there, and then in the form, I'm just going to go ahead and paste this in. So now in this landing page where we just took that out from, we need to do at Livewire, and we're going to use our contact form. We should be able to see that. Let's clean this up real quick. And we shouldn't actually have any changes because all we did was extract it. Okay, so great, we're still seeing it. Scripts of no. Oh, that's because it's in our dashboard page. That's fine. That's not really a big deal. If you want, you can take the script.js, and instead of having it in the script tags, you can just put the script actually on the dashboard page, which is fine too, but doesn't really matter for our purposes. So we have this form right here, and that's good. So let's open this up and let's start making this look a little bit more presentable. So this full name, we can go ahead and do the same translations. We'll have full name, and I'm going to copy this out so I don't have to keep typing it. And then for here, we'll do email. Here we'll do message. And that's pretty much it. For our form, what we're going to do is we're going to create a function in our component. So let's go ahead and grab that first. So up here, we need some properties. We're going to say public name. We need email. And we need message. Now we are going to want some validation, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste this in to save us a bit of time. And what we're doing here is we're creating a set of rules. We have name, email, message. Each of them have their own validation rules, so everything is required. Name has a minimum of 3, email is email, the message is a minimum of 5 and a max of 300. And then we are using this updated lifecycle hook in order to validate everything that we have coming in from here. What this is going to do is it's going to allow us to have instant validation on the front end. So as we're typing, it'll let us know as we're typing. The next thing I want to do is create a function. And we're just going to call it submit. And what we need to do for this function is bring in the validation. So we're going to say data equals this validate. And because we don't really have anything for it, we're just going to say die and dump data. This way we can see what it is we're actually getting from the front end. So let's head back to the Livewire component, the contact form. And then here we're going to do wire, submit. We're going to do prevent to prevent any default activities. And we're going to use that function that we just created. So for our input, we are going to do, let's see, I'll just put it right here. We're going to make a wire model. And if you've used Vue.js before, wire model is the same thing as vModel. It's just sort of mirroring it so that as we type out, we can actually see what the value is that we're typing out. We're also going to want to put a debounce on it. And what this will do is because every key that you type, it'll keep hitting the server. So we wanted to just kind of limit it to every 500 milliseconds. The default will do it at 150. So we're just going to leave it like this. We're going to say that equals name. Okay, so we are going to copy this and we're going to put it for the other values as well. It'd be on here. And then for the message, we'll do the same thing. And so now we do need to show our validations. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paste this under here. And this is just Laravel's validation sort of a setup. So we'll be able to display it underneath each field. So that's for name. We'll do it for email. We'll change this to email. And then input for the message, we'll add that here. And this will be message. Okay. And we also have what we were trying to do before. With that spinner, we can do it here, and this just needs to be animate spin. And we also need to do the wire loading. And for the message, we'll do wire loading remove. And again, that's just going to remove the message when the form is being sent. So let's give this a try and see what we get. Okay, go ahead, pull it out, send. Okay, so we are hitting that route, name, email, message. So what we need to do now is create a model and a table so that we can enter this into our database. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up our terminal, and then we'll do PHP artisan make model, and we'll call it contact. And then we'll also make the migration for that. And let's get working on this. We're going to open up the database. Migrations, and this will be the last one down here, contacts. So all we need for in here is the name of the user. We're going to allow them to message us whether or not they have an account with us. And then email, message. Okay, that's good for that. And let's go ahead and add this in the model. Contact, and I'm going to be using protected fillable equals an array. And again, you can also use guarded, doesn't really matter. It's up to you. What is most comfortable for you? First, we need name, email, and the message. And actually, I want to make this a text just so that we can allow for more characters. That's that. So what we can do in our contact form is once we validate everything, we can go ahead and we'll do contact create. And let's make sure to import this. And then actually, instead of all of this, we're just going to use the same fields from the validation. So we'll just do data. So it's going to validate and then it's going to create. After that, we do want to have something to reset the field. So when we go ahead and send in the information to the server, we're going to want to reset this back to 0. So once everything is validated, everything is good, the message went through, then we can go ahead and just reset the fields. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a try. Use our fake filler here, send the message. Oh, I forgot to migrate. Wouldn't be me if I didn't forget to do at least 15 things. So PHP artisan, migrate, and that should be good. Okay. Try it again. So we didn't get to see the fields clear because we still have the die and dump, but let's check the database and make sure this is in there. So it looks like we have our message sent. So now we can set up a mailable to have it sent to us. Now, again, we're going to be keeping this super, super simple. So we're going to do PHP artisan, make mail, and we're going to call it message received. We're going to make a markdown to go along with that, and that's going to equal emails, message received. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and press enter, and then we have now our mailable, and we also have a blade file for it. Why don't we start with the mailable? Well, actually, no. It would make more sense to do it in the way that it's going to be done. From the contact form, we are going to do mail, and we're going to use the facade. And I need to make sure this gets imported. And then we are going to send it to, we need to configure our mail for this as well. We'll do that in a bit. But we're going to use the config file to grab our mail from address. And then once we do that, then we are going to send the new message received. Then we're going to pass in the data. Okay, make sure it imported the correct one, and it did. So let's go ahead and go to this. So we have it right here. I'm going to go ahead and drop this. But we need to create a property, and it's going to be a public property. And we're going to call it data. We're going to call it data because we're calling it data in here. So message received. So now in the construct, we are going to pass in that data. Data. Now this is going to say this data equals the data that we're passing in, which means that now we can go ahead and pass this into our mailable. So right down here, we're going to open this up, and all we're going to do is pass in a name equals this data name. And we are going to customize the subject. So our subject will say, want to work with you. Because don't forget, this is a portfolio, and hey, maybe people want to reach out and give you some work. So subject from, then we're going to pass in this data email, because we don't have that user in our database, so we need to grab it from the data. So this data email and this data name. Okay, that should be good. Now, let's go ahead and add that to our blade file, which is in our emails message received blade. Again, super simple. We are going to get rid of this. Well, actually, going to get rid of all this. Okay, and this is a markdown file. You can look at how to edit markdown files, but this is what we're doing for this. So data, and we're going to use that name that we passed in, comma, and then we're going to add data message. That's all we need to do for that. Let's go grab our credentials for our .env file. So I am going to be using Mailtrap. Mailtrap is a free account. You can go down to Laravel and grab your credentials. These are mine. These are not going to work for you. We're going to copy that. .env. And I'm going to go ahead and replace it right here. And then it's going to be from me at myawesomeportfolio.com. Okay, everything else looks good. So we have our credentials set. Let's go ahead and see if we can send a message now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fill this in. Send. So we have cleared our fields. Let's go ahead and check our mail. Ah, there we go. We want to work with you a few seconds ago. So we have the name of our app. We have the name of our app with the date. And this is our message from Volpu. That is Latin, and I don't know how to pronounce that, but here's our message as well. Fantastic. So we have successfully created our project, and the next episode we will get ready to deploy. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and click that like button, as it really does help out the channel. Here's a video YouTube thinks you'll like, and here's a playlist to follow along. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.